What's the most important job of every parent? It's something I think about quite a bit. I'm a dad. My daughter's turning 2 in the next week or so. What's the most important job? The most important job, as far as I can tell, is to raise my daughter so well that she's going to be ready for me to let go. That she's going to be ready to let go. And you know what the second most important job is going to be? And I'm not ready for this. To actually let go. It's so hard. And yet it makes sense. You know, when I think of my almost 2-year-old climbing across these, I've got to hold her up. She can't stand on these and go from one to the other without me holding her up. But can you just picture it? Can you picture it 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, if I'm still holding her as she goes from step to step to step on here? At some point, I have to let go. And that is going to be so hard. As I think about my little girl, I look forward to her wedding day, when I get to walk her down the aisle and then walk her around and officiate her wedding. And I want to do it right. I want to be ready to let go on that day. Because if I don't let go, then I'll be holding her back. As a society, as a culture, as a people, we struggle with letting go. Right now, in this season that we're all in, relationships are struggling. I'm hearing from you. Marriages are struggling. Parent-child relationships are struggling. Parents with children at home, parents with adult children, parents with adult married children, all relationships are struggling. And a big part of it has to do with letting go. Marriages were already struggling before this time. All relationships were struggling. And all of those struggles have just been made worse in this season. Because all the issues that were there, that we swept under the rug or we shoved them in the closet, now we can't escape from them. Now we can't step away from them. Now we're right there. I'm remembering my wedding 11 years ago. And I'm remembering my wedding, and I remember thinking about how I thought I knew what I was doing. And I had no clue. And I remember going to premarital counseling, and I didn't know how to say, these are the areas where I need help. If I would have just said that, I could have avoided myself a lot of pain. See, I married my best friend, and I thought that would be enough. But I did not understand what it was to be married. Genesis 2 continues with a story that I find pretty funny. After God says it's not good for man to be alone, I will make an Ezer suitable for him. God begins to bring forth all the animals that God's creating, brings them over to Adam to see if one of them could live up to that challenge of being his Ezer, of being his partner, of being his help, of being his rescuer. And God brings all these animals over to Adam, and none of them quite fit. And I'd have to tell you, I like my dog. I like my dog quite a bit. You know, you've heard the saying, a dog is a man's best friend. But my dog Trixie does not qualify in any way, shape, or form to be my Ezer. But I can tell you, my wife Melissa, if I didn't have her, I would be lost. And I don't tell her that often enough. And what would happen in marriages today if we treated our partner as our Ezer, and we told them just how much we appreciated them. After that point, God creates the woman out of the man's side. And it's been said, it's been pointed out that God didn't create her out of his skull to be over the man, or out of his foot to be under him, but rather out of his side to partner with him. What if we see our partner as just that, as our partner? And when Adam meets Eve, he celebrates. He celebrates. What would it be if every day, when we wake up and we see our partner in quarantine, we say, "Oh, I'm so fortunate. I have you." This is part of what it means to be stronger on the other side.